What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Monday, March 11th, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Anthony Rapp. Yay!
Do I have to shout?
Yeah, I told you I get loud. Shouting loud noises.
Hello.
See, I guess you didn't know this. I took 2 years of theater class in high school. You need to project to the back of the room.
Where did you go?
St. Francis in Wheaton, Illinois. Thank you very much.
I'm from Joliet originally.
Really? I didn't know
was
that.
born in Chicago, grew up in Joliet.
Oh, okay. Well, look at that. So do you know Portillo's?
No.
Okay, cool. You might have been gone by then. You're too famous for Portillo's by then, huh? Portillo's the best hot dog restaurant.
Oh, okay. I see.
They put up famous people's photos if they like Portillo's. So you should start on that track. Am I already in there? I am. That's how low the bar is.
Congratulations.
No problem. Anthony, you of course are on Star Trek Discovery.
Yes.
You of course were in Rent.
Yes.
You of course have a career going very, very far back, and I don't know how you don't age.
I'm really old. I'm 47.
Somebody pointed out that you were in the babysitting movie.
Adventures of Babysitting. Yes.
And I was like, no, he wasn't. That's impossible. That's impossible.
I was 15 when I did that.
How are you? But you still look so good. You're so young.
Thank you. I take good care of myself, Greg Miller.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except when I'm bleary-eyed playing for 14 hours.
Don't come, and that's the thing, all right? Don't come in here faking. I've seen you, LA, Hollywood elitists, your Rahul Kohlis come in here and act like you play video games. Sir, how many platinum trophies do you have?
69.
That's a lot of platinum trophies.
Oh my God.
That is a lot of platinum trophies, everybody.
That's impressive.
I'm so happy to
And
have
some of them are like totally legit. There's a couple that are like the
garbage.
easy ones.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But most of them are
What is the one
legit.
you're the most proud of?
It would be Bloodborne.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're a real man.
Yeah.
You're a real gamer. You know what I mean? Like that's not. I got the Mr. Mayo trophies and Mr. Massagey and all these goofy ones.
Yes.
You just tap X and be done with it for.
Yes.
So how do you fit that in? You're this actor. You're on these shows. You're traveling the world.
Well, there was a period, before Star Trek Discovery, I would do like a little bit of like when I'm doing theater.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a show at night.
All day long.
I can play for a few hours during the day. But,
Sure.
in the last couple of years, it's gone down. My platinum.
Yeah.
Excursions.
Platinums per hour.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
What are those sites where you can track your process?
Oh yeah,
your progress.
All
that
your PSN
stuff?
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like for a while. I was like,
sure.
I was doing.
Oh sure. Yeah. You don't do it. You got to get in. You got to do it. You got to keep checking. You got to check your PSN profile. That's what I get in and do all the time.
But like even while I'm shooting, sometimes I can, if I have a few days off, then I can dive in. But I like story games the most.
Yeah.
Although Bloodborne really is kind of like a wonderful mixture of both.
Yeah.
Where you're immersed in a world, and there's also kind of the grindy fun, like you keep getting better at something.
Sure.
But yeah, like something like The Last of Us. Yeah, you need a couple solid. To me, I want to be able to really immerse myself.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than playing a great story-based game and then having to take a week off.
Yeah.
And then you come back and like, wait, where was I? What was I doing? Yeah.
But and plus, oh yeah, which is this and this?
Yeah, everybody's changing how you craft things.
Yeah.
No, you can't do it. You can't do it. I don't know.
So
what are some of your other favorite games?
The Mass Effect games were,
Of course.
So the weird thing for me about gaming is like when I grew up with like arcades. I was born in the 70s, so I played Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Super Mario Brothers in the arcades.
Sure.
I didn't have a home system until I was an adult, and the reason I have a home system is that I bought a piece of video art and it ran off of a PS3.
What?
And I was like, I have a PS3 in my house. I should find out what's happening.
Wait,
in
what
gaming.
video art did you buy?
It's just a really cool. It was actually here in San Francisco. My sister had a birthday party at an art gallery, and it was just a cool piece of video art, like an animated.
Just moved and did
yeah,
stuff. Okay, wow.
It was really cool. But I have this PS3 in my house, and a friend of mine who's a big nerd and gamer.
One of our kind. Hello.
Yes, told me about Dragon Age because we had played Baldur's Gate together.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I should see what's happening now. And it was like, so I'm kind of missed.
You took a lot of years off.
Yeah, I took a lot of years off.
Wow.
And so it was like, that was the first time I encountered again, like the scope that games are being made in now.
Yeah.
But so from there, I went to Mass Effect.
Oh my
2,
God.
Because Mass Effect 1 wasn't yet available on PlayStation.
And obviously Mass Effect 2 way better than Mass Effect 1. I've said it a million times.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it.
So that was like, oh my God, now I can actually, you can do all the things and be incredibly wrapped up in these characters.
Yeah.
And, and be moved by something.
Yeah.
I love art and theater and storytelling. And when you can have both where you're inside the game like that, that was the one that really blew my mind of what was possible.
That's awesome. I just assumed you had never left it behind. I didn't realize there was such a gap there.
Yeah.
So when you jump in, our trophies on PlayStation at the time?
Yeah, they were.
got added late to
yeah.
PlayStation 3. And
Yeah,
was it
and-
an immediate like, oh, I'm all in on this?
Of course. But yeah, the platinum for the Mass Effect 2 and 3 is no joke.
Oh yeah.
either.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So to get both of those two were, and another big one was Arkham City.
Yeah.
'Cause-
All those Riddler trophies.
Well, yeah, the
Why
Riddler
not?
trophies, but also the
Challenge rooms.
The challenge rooms.
Yeah. That's what kept me
Yeah.
away from Arkham Asylum and City. Where
Yeah.
I was like, I hate these challenge rooms.
You hate the challenge rooms?
I do. Well, it's because like some of them get to the point of it's like I have to watch the video walk through and be like literally put the bomb at the exact right place at the right moment to blow the thing up to get the 4 stars or whatever it was.
I
I'm
understand.
Like, I'm out. Bye.
Yeah, I understand.
Arkham Knight though, great. Didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? That's all
But
I wanted.
Arkham Knight, I do love Arkham Knight, but
Sure.
Arkham Knight, that whole fight when he's in the big tank thing.
Oh yeah.
It's
no.
really annoying.
Yes.
Really annoying.
It sucks that Arkham, and I don't get me wrong, I love Rocksteady, I love all the Batman games. Arkham Knight the weakest.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, the Bat Tank, like come on.
But when first they did it for City and then Night, when you get to also play the challenges as Catwoman
Sure.
and Robin,
Yeah, yeah.
like all that stuff, I love that.
Yeah, me too. Good stuff.
Because I also when you it goes back probably to RPG to D&D whatever, but
Yeah.
you can play all the different kinds of abilities,
Classes and stuff.
That's
yeah,
one of
yeah.
the reasons I love Mass Effect also. Like,
Sure.
yeah, try all the different things.
Yeah.
Don't just do the one thing. But I always start with the Souls games. I always start with like a stealthy, quick person.
Me too.
I'm not
I
like
always like to be
a
ranged.
bash
Yeah.
knight. I'm not like a.
I like to stay back with a crossbow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where I want to be. Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
I always take longer to win these games too.
Hey
to
man,
beat
if you're
these
enjoying
games.
your time,
Yeah.
what's the hurry?
Because
You know
I'm
what I mean?
not I'm not like damage per second. You know, like all these people were like, "Brr, brr, brr." I like figure out
Take
the
your time.
tactics. And,
Get out there, yeah. Outthink them. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
Or overthink them, however you want. I'm excited to have you along for the ride, Anthony.
Thank you,
I'll tell you
thank
what.
you.
There are a few moments. I've had a great career. You know what I mean? I'm pleasure to say. There's a few cooler moments than at that red carpet when you walked up to me.
yeah.
I'd already been talking to all these actors. They don't have a fucking clue who I am. And you
Yeah,
walked
yeah.
up and you're like, wait, you're the game guy. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames. You can ask your questions, get them read here. Where can you watch it? Well, live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, of course. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up so we can set the record straight. For everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and listening on podcast services around the globe. Today, we're going to be talking about that new Harry Potter game, the Google controller, and the Fortnite lawsuits. I usually put that up here and I forgot, so I had to page through. But I'm so
understand.
pro, nobody noticed. You know?
Yeah, see, you had that like riff like down.
Oh, this is like episode 405.
There you go,
We've
yeah.
been doing this a while. Housekeeping for you. Kansas City, don't forget, we are coming your way with the Kinda Funny World Tour. March 30th, we are in town. If you want to come to the free meetup over at the Flying Saucer, we'll see you there that night. If you want to go the extra mile, we're doing Planet Comic-Con stuff all day long. I'm interviewing a whole bunch of Supermen. Nick's interviewing Henry Winkler. Tim is doing a Power Rangers panel. And I'm also interviewing Mick Foley. Good stuff.
Kansas City, Kansas, or Missouri?
Missouri, come on. We only recognize, we don't recognize Kansas in this
Okay,
household because
okay,
I went to
all right.
Mizzou, all right, sir?
Oh, okay.
There's
Very
a
good.
rivalry there, I'll tell you.
Okay.
And then remember, New York, we're coming the immediate next weekend to hang out with you as well. You can get all this at kindafunny.com/events. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Mohammed, Tom Bach, and Blackjack. Today we're brought to you by Hims, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news.
Why is it the Roper Report?
Great question. 12 years ago, I worked at IGN,
Yes.
and one of my first bosses there was Chris Roper.
Okay.
And then we went on and did this. We started this podcast called Podcast Me On. It was very popular.
Yes.
And he would give the news, and we
Got it.
call it the Roper Report.
I understand.
And then he got laid off, unfortunately, because IGN went through a whole bunch of
Yeah,
restructuring.
yeah,
I was telling you
yeah,
about that.
yeah.
And then as a memorial, we kept doing it.
Okay.
And then when we left, we just stole a lot of the things we did at
Very
IGN
good.
because they didn't want them anymore. You know
Yes,
what I mean? So
exactly.
then we have it.
Thievery.
3 items on the Roper Report.
The Baker's dozen! doesn't.
Now let's give a round of applause for Kev, who kept the doo-doo-doo-doots going while I explained the Roper Report just to get to the Baker's Dozen. Love you, Kev.
Yeah,
Number 1, Harry Potter Wizards Unite is officially unveiled. WB Games and Niantic are excited to share the first gameplay details for Harry Potter Wizards Unite, the new augmented reality mobile game that puts magic in the hands of aspiring wizards and witches worldwide. Co-published and co-developed by WB Games San Francisco and Niantic Incorporated, the Pokemon Go folks. Harry Potter Wizards Unite is part of Portkey Games, the games label dedicated to creating new Wizarding World mobile and video game experiences that place the player at the center of their own adventure, inspired by J.K. Rowling's original stories.
Rolling.
That was one sentence. All right, man.
Rolling.
What I said, Rowling?
Yeah.
Rolling.
You kind of said rolling.
I'll let you know right now, Anthony. If you want to correct my pronunciation throughout this show, you're going to have a very long show.
I'm happy about it. I'm excited.
In Harry Potter Wizards Unite, the player's journey begins as a new recruit for the Statute of Secrecy Task Force, with the purpose of investigating and containing a calamity that is befalling the wizarding world. Witches and wizards from around the globe must come together to cast spells and return foundables, artifacts, creatures, people, and even memories trapped by confoundable magic to their proper place in an effort to keep magic hidden from Muggle eyes. A calamity has befallen the wizarding world, causing... now I went to their website. They had more information, but not the same information as the press release. So I shoved it in there, but it sounds like, they just reworded it. Your journey begins as a new recruit of the Statute of Secrecy Task Force, established by the Ministry of Magic and the International Confederation of Wizards for the purpose of investigating and containing the calamity. As players journey across the world, they'll discover inns that replenish their spell energy, magical ingredients for brewing special potions, port keys that unlock AR portals into iconic Wizarding World locations, and much more. Combat skills will be tested when witches and wizards visit real-world locations called fortresses, key areas that play host to wizarding challenges. These real-time multiplayer battles against dangerous foes encourage players to join forces with fellow witches and wizards to take on high-level threats and unlock rare magical rewards. Harry Potter Wizards Unite is coming to iOS and Android mobile devices in 2019. Pre-registration is available now on Google Play.
So it sounds like it's a kind of thing that's sort of like Pokemon Go.
It is very much like Pokemon Go. If you go to the website or any of the reports and watch, you can see very augmented reality. It is different in Pokemon Go in the way that one of the things with the port key, like the portal to the Wizarding Worlds, it is, if we were in the room, it would be over by Kevin. You have to walk over to it and go through it and jump into that way. But then it is,
So that's what they mean by augmented reality, that you're in the real world interacting with the environment or 100%. The location. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In Pokemon Go, right, it was always that you could have the Pokemon on the desk or whatever. And the same thing here, I think, with this.
And is Pokemon Go still happening?
Oh my gosh, it's happening more than ever. It's huge. It's a really big deal. Yeah. Kevin, you were hooting and hollering over there. Mm-hmm. Are you all in on this?
Oh man, anything Harry Potter, I'm in.
Yeah.
You know?
Did this excite you though?
He has a low standard, you know?
What does that mean?
Barrett, get on the shock mic if you're going to talk. I saw
Barrett, you also love Harry Potter.
Barrett, though, had the exact same reaction I had. When I saw this come through my inbox, I went... They're announcing that Harry Potter console PC game, right? And then, no, it was this thing.
Yeah. I was texting my good buddy Jonathan Dornbush, who wrote a little piece about this
Big
on
preview
IGN.
from him up on IGN.com.
Yeah. I want a petition to call him John Dorn, because I think it makes him sound very burly, and it's nothing like him, and I think it's funny. So my good friend John Dorn, texting him this morning, because I was like, man, I wish it was that one game. He was like, yeah, whatever. But he was telling me...
Scintillating conversation.
Riveting conversation with Dorn.
John Dorn was saying that the Harry Potter stuff in this is cool, but if you're not into Pokemon Go, this isn't the game for you.
Sure.
And so that's what, it's a mobile game. Like, I want to be immersed in the Harry Potter world.
Yeah.
And if this is just like an AR fun, silly game on your mobile device, like, I'm not in.
Oh, wow.
I don't have that low bar that Kevin Coelho has. You know
Anthony, where's your bar for Harry Potter games?
My bar would be I would want a story.
Yeah, you want a real thing?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
I'm in the same boat. I feel like if Kevin and Cool Greg get into this, as I expect them to, because Cool Greg's the biggest Harry Potter fan I've ever met in my world. Yeah. Cool Greg, who will be here later, such a Harry Potter fan. He hasn't read the final book because he doesn't want the journey to end. He just keeps rereading the other ones, and he won't read them.
So sad though, because he's missing out on an amazing.
He'll get there. He'll get there.
He's saving it.
Is he unspoiled?
No. He's seen like the movies.
That's so weird.
When you have a conversation with Cool Greg, you'll see that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, all right.
If they're into it, I'll play and tinker with it, but I don't. It doesn't do much for me.
No.
Of course, there was a definitive Ghostbusters World last year, which was a Ghostbusters augmented reality game on your mobile phone. I'm sure you know. It's won many Game of the Year awards.
It did?
No. Then they patched it and totally screwed it up, and everybody got mad and left.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You mean the gamers community gets angry at
They can get
things?
angry, yeah. This time we were justified, though, you know?
Yeah,
we were
sure.
justified. They nerfed all the things. The boson darts started costing more money. Then they started trying to microtransaction me out of the game. Come on now. I'm not going to stand for that. Nobody should. Do you play any mobile games? Is that anything you get
I have
into?
been playing Empires and Puzzles. Which
I'm not familiar.
It's like a match. It's an interesting thing because you build your thing and you match 3 and you build your... it's got like a variety. It's sort of mixture of RPG and puzzles, you know. And so like when I'm like traveling in a like, you know, coming here today.
Sure, in an Uber or whatever.
It's easy. You know, and you can just play a little bit a day and then, you know, you could pay a lot of money to like augment.
Oh yeah,
its
to
shit,
totally get it and be way too strong
which is
and
crazy.
crush everything.
But no, I mean, just like every day, just do a little something or other. It's a nice little distraction, you know, while I'm.
Have you heard the rumors of the console game for Harry Potter? Because there was a bunch of leaks in quotes a while back or whatever that they were before the Harry Potter, you know, the Harry Potter stories or whatever. You're doing the whole thing. You're making your own wizards. You're going to Hogwarts. You're learning your things. You're going out in RPG.
It makes so much sense.
Right,
like,
totally.
why? But how were the older games? Like they released a lot.
I mean,
of
Lego
them.
Harry Potter was really good.
Yeah.
But then outside
I did
of
play that on my iPad.
Yeah, outside of that, they were like, whatever. It's the same thing as always where I feel those games were very much, they were still of that AA licensing midsection, right? Of like, hey, this is popular. EA or whoever is going to take it and give the license to somebody and churn it out to get it in time for the movie.
Yeah.
And you'd find things, I reviewed them. I remember reviewing them when they came out the movies, and it would always be like, it's cool to walk around Hogwarts. I'm not invested in anything that's happening, but it's like I'm down there doing magic.
So would you say that like the Arkham games were one of the first licensed games that really were great games unto themselves also,
I feel like
honored the world?
That's a bridge too far because there's tons of licenses that have done well. I think in modern times, it's one of the first licensed comic book games that did, like, our bar was so low for those even, right?
Yeah.
Where this was like, oh my God, like you guys got it in a way nobody else did and paid, like you're saying, homage to everything and all the Easter eggs and all the love and the fact that they hid, you know, there was a secret room in the warden's office in the first game that actually told you about the second game, but nobody ever found it for like years and years and years.
Yeah.
Like they did something truly special in terms of elevating voice acting, performance, the world, the gameplay. I think there had been good licensed games before then for sure, but yeah, they took it to another place, obviously. And I really, man, dude, I was at IGN when that happened, right? In that 2008, 9, and I was like, this is gonna change everything. We're gonna have so many good comic book games from here on out. And like, Jesus, we just got Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Why isn't everyone copying this?
Is that because the comic book companies are reluctant to give their property to these to the video game companies?
No,
Are they worried?
I think a lot of it had to do with the deals we were just talking about with Harry Potter were the deals that had happened with that, where you figure Activision did have Spider-Man rights for a long time. And the contract was, if I remember correctly, right, and this might have been just a rumor, kindoffunny.com/you're wrong, I'm talking out my ass, that it was that like they had to put out a Spider-Man game yearly. And so that puts you on a 9-month development cycle, which is like why it was Beanox doing it, right? And they found such success. Shattered Dimensions. Beanox.
What is that?
It's the developer of these games that I'm talking about. They had made Shattered Dimensions, which was really good, but then they had to put out the next one, and then they had to put out. It was just like you can't fault these guys; they're doing what they can.
Yeah.
And so, like in the example of Marvel, right? I feel like they let those contracts run out after Marvel got its shit together and was awesome again. And they made Marvel Games a label, and they hired a whole bunch of people like Bill Roseman and Mike Jones, and brought them in. And it was, hey, we're going to right the ship, and we're going to take our properties and give them to talented developers. And that's why they went, to Spider-Man, or Insomniac with Spider-Man. Right. Now Avengers with Square. They went over and did Guardians with Telltale. Like they went out and like let's find people and real things and who can do what with every piece.
So Avengers is what?
Nobody knows.
No one knows.
Nobody knows. And there's rumors, out there all about it, but nobody knows what the hell it is.
Yeah.
We just have that one trailer, right? And then it's just silence. And so every E3, anything, we're like, maybe this is where we hear about Avengers. We never hear about Avengers.
Yeah. Interesting.
We'll see. Number 2. That Google controller was making the rounds this weekend. It is just a mock-up. Brad Sams from Thurott is talking. We know it's coming. And Kevin, can you find it? Because I'm going to talk about it if you can put up an image of it.
What are they going to do with the Google controller?
Brad's going to tell you from Thurott. Brad writes, we know it's coming. And now we have a little bit more insight into how Google plans to move into the gaming space. A new patent filed by the company shows off what is expected to be the controller for the company's upcoming gaming service. At GDC in about 2 weeks, Google is expected to show off the retail version version of Project Stream, the company's beta test for streaming games to any platform. Rumors have been swirling that the company will also be releasing hardware for the new service, and a patent filed earlier this year, shows the controller that may accompany the device. While there isn't anything remarkable with its design, it does show that Google Assistant, or at least voice communication, is built into the controller, and it also features your standard 2 thumbsticks, 4 buttons for the right thumb, and a D-pad on the left side. There are also 2 shoulder buttons and 2 triggers as well. Reps Up 100 on Twitter created a render from the drawings, and while they do give us a better look at the hardware, what the hardware will be like once it's in your hand, the proportions are a bit off. Specifically, the wings of the controller look too wide compared to the drawings. Yeah,
I'm trying to see.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Let me finish the article. And we'll keep this up, Kev. To the drawings, but the best look, we have the new hardware. While the controller will likely be a good attempt for a first-generation device, the only thing that matters here is how well the service operates. With all streaming services, latency will be the deciding factor between usable and failed product release. So yeah, what was interesting about all of that is that the drawing, if you saw the drawing going around, that's from the patent, and then this mock-up of the controller that everyone was sharing on Twitter and talking about is just a mock-up, not the real official thing or anything to that effect. But yeah, you look at that and everybody had the exact same thing. Like, what? Like, no, I don't want to, what? No, no, thank you.
No,
I don't want that.
Why do they have to make them different from each other? Are they patented?
Oh yeah, totally. They're all patented. Yeah, big time. So do you know anything about what Google and Project Stream and all that jazz is?
Not really.
So at the end of last year, Google surfaced and was like, hey, we've been working on gaming for a while. And what we're putting our eggs into the basket of is streaming. And when we say streaming, we mean streaming it to any device, play anywhere, do all this different stuff without any real hardware needed. We're going to be running the machines on our end and just giving you the thing. So
just with like LTE or?
Yeah. Well, I think it had to be Wi-Fi for this test because it was through Google Chrome.
Okay.
So what it was is you got to register. They partnered with Ubisoft, and it was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And so if you got into the beta, which most people did, you connected a controller to your PC, and then you played Odyssey in a Google Chrome tab. And it ran spectacularly. There's latency there, obviously, and it is this. But we had it on one of the Gamescasts. Jared had a really broke Google Chrome or Google Chromebook or whatever that had no processing power, no nothing, and it wasn't 4K and it wasn't blah blah blah. But it was working and it was awesome. And I was telling my wife about it when she came back from a business trip, and I busted out and showed her, and I'm like, this is amazing. This is insane, and it's saved to the cloud everywhere, so I don't have to worry about it. It's just holy crap. That was exciting because it sounded like, okay, cool, we're just going to make this streaming service and put it out there. It'll be ubiquitous. At GDC next week, they have a big conference where they're supposed to reveal what this is all about and what's next in that. So this coming out is leading everyone to believe that, hopefully, knock on wood, Project Stream is the same thing we want it to be, where I can plug a DualShock into my computer and play through Chrome and everything's great. But to make it make sense to someone in the middle of the country who doesn't maybe have already a Google Chromecast or another way to get it on their TV, they have a box they can plug in and play that way.
Okay.
So it's very fascinating. Streaming's the future here, Anthony.
I guess.
Or it's going to be the next big thing that blows up in everybody's face. But we're going to figure it out.
It's the future.
It's the future, Kevin. As long as the internet gets there.
Yeah, the broadband isn't everywhere, though.
I know. So then...
It's in my house.
So at the same time... It's in my house, too. At the same time that Google was doing this, Microsoft came out. And they were like, hey... We're working on streaming stuff too. We got these Azure centers. They got the super powerful Xboxes in them. We're trying it in 52 markets or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So this is the real thing.
Why is it, but why, what's the reason that this is important?
Game Anywhere. You have a screen in your pocket right now and probably an iPad in your backpack, right? So it's like they don't want to lose you to your iPhone games there. They want to be everywhere. And everybody wants to be the first person to figure it out so that they are the place. Because you travel, probably more than I do, but we both travel a lot. And the idea for me, and we're not there, but the idea for me of, hey, there is 5G now. That's something, everybody's talking about. Yeah. I can go out and I can stream The Division. If I was going to New York tonight, I could go there and stream The Division from the thing and go all the way and have it be flawless. Unlike now where it's like with me with PlayStation, it would be trying to use the hotel Wi-Fi to then connect to my house to ping the thing, to ping it all back. And it's like, right? Like I want it to be flawless and great. And that's what people are talking about. And, Google's talking about plugging your controller in here. Xbox's thing is their video about it shows people playing on a phone with it just connected to their Xbox One controller, just like through Bluetooth or whatever. It's exciting. It's exciting. Get excited.
Isn't part of the thing like you're in your comfy chair or couch?
Sure, but what about when you're away from your comfy chair? You know what I mean?
I guess. Sure.
You don't believe.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I want my big screen TV.
Sure, but the thing about it
sound
is,
system.
you still have that, but it's just then you can take it on the road with you. You know what I mean?
understand.
Remember the PlayStation Vita? What if the PlayStation Vita was
know.
realized and this
I
could be
know.
it? You know what I mean?
I
And the
know.
Switch is great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to play all my games
I
right
understand.
away.
Okay.
Don't rain on my parade here.
I want.
He's raining on the parade.
Raining on the parade.
I tell you what.
This will be. Will this like get me all sorts of ads? I'm gonna get added.
Oh no, you're definitely in the camp of most people. I'm the one where everybody's like, "Shut up, Greg. I don't have that kind of internet where I live. You're an idiot." You know what I mean? No, they're going to be. You're coming off very well.
Okay.
They're gonna carry you around as like their poster boy.
Don't
now.
at me.
Well,
or at me.
Add good stuff.
At good stuff.
Yeah. Add bad stuff
at
to
me
Rahul
anyway. I
Kohli.
get added all the time anyway. I get so many ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Well, both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. I mean,
My favorite is like the angry Star Trek people, because there's angry Star Trek people.
No.
So like I'll post like, I'm really proud of Wilson Cruz's performance this
Sure.
week, and then I'll
He's
get
great.
like people adding me like, why is CBS making me pay for this show?
Because it's worth it.
And you
know.
respond back like, a lot of money goes into the show to make it really good. Yeah.
I understand. Yeah,
No.
they're spending a lot of money on this.
Season
show.
2 looks great too.
Thank you.
You
Yeah.
guys did a great job.
Yeah.
When I was doing the interviews with everybody, in more of the production side, right? And they're like, "Well, we shot it more like a movie this time." And I was like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah,
And
now
I
you
remember
see.
watching episode 1 in the theater, granted, but like
Yeah.
watching. I came back to tell Nick, I'm like, "You got to get it." And like,
Yeah. Thank you.
So you got I've let my money keep going to you.
All right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There you go. Just like you can at patreon.com/kindoffunny. Number 3 on the Roper Report, finally. The Fortnite lawsuits are ending kinda. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. We've talked about this at length. We knew that the Fresh Prince one got tossed out. I'm just going to give you the top paragraph and then we're going to move on. Fresh Prince star Alfonso Ribeiro, rapper 2 Milli, and internet sensations Backpack Kid and Orange Shirt Kid have dropped their claims against Epic Game over its use of their dance move in the games, but it's only temporary. So because they threw it out and said the thing were too generic, I think what I read from this is that the lawyers are going back and like, we're going to refile with something else and go for it, but whatever.
It seems pretty clear to me that it was stolen. I don't know.
But did they ever own the dance?
Right, exactly.
Who
I guess.
owns
Yes.
the
Yeah,
dance?
who owns the dance?
Yeah, exactly.
Bob Fosse owns his dances.
There you go. See, that's
You
how
know.
it's got to be. Kevin Bacon owns all his, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't
exactly.
know if that's true.
You know what? Well, you did right into your run, Kevin, so I don't have to listen to you. Anthony,
Yes.
I'm excited to see where these lawsuits go, but they're still so far away.
It's true.
If I wanted something more immediate, like say what came to the mom and grop shops today, where would I go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform is listed by the Kinda Funny Games Daily Show hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah. I appreciate your passion.
You're welcome.
That was an interesting accent.
You know.
Wherever.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
It's my alarm, everybody.
Hello.
There it is.
Hello,
Okay.
hello.
So what's happening now? Is Cool Greg here?
No, not yet.
Perfect. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, and you'll appreciate this, Anthony. Cool Greg, big Harry Potter fan we already talked
Yes.
about, right? I forgot months and months and months ago, I signed up to get alerts for when I could buy him Harry Potter and the Cursed Child Part 1 and Part 2 tickets in San Francisco.
Oh, cool.
Today is the pre-sale day.
Oh, cool.
They go live at 11, but at 10:30 I can join the virtual waiting room.
It's a really good show.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay,
It's
so
really
this is
good.
a virtual waiting room at 11. I'm in the virtual waiting room. Everything's fine. It's happening. Thank
Yeah.
you. Out today. Take Flight is on Android and iOS. The game is an endless flying game based off 1930s cartoons like Popeye and Mickey Mouse. Basically, if Cuphead had a MOBA baby, it would be our game. Why do I say our game? Because Take Flight was made by Kinda Funny best friend David Scott. A round of applause to him for putting out his first game. Go get Take Flight on Android and
Endless
iOS.
flying game.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Endless flying?
Sure. Well, you know, like Endless Runner, right? So like it's like, but you're flying. It's kind of like Flappy Bird.
But endless, Runner 2. Did you ever play that?
Yeah.
Is that endless?
No,
because it ends.
you cross levels and you
Yeah.
get stuff. Yeah, it's more like a Jetpack Joyride or whatever.
I've never played these games. I don't know anything about them.
You stop playing your match 3 games
I know,
over there,
I know.
Grandma, and play something
Probably
else.
true.
Hey, whoa,
True.
whoa, whoa. Match 3
Probably
games are
true.
great.
Oh, I know, Marvel
Chill
Puzzle
out.
Quest, of
Chill
course.
out.
El Taco Diablo is on PC. The Far Kingdoms Awakening Solitaire is on PC. Don't Escape 4 Days in a Wasteland comes to PC and Mac. And then Love Alchemy, A Heart in Winter comes to PC. Now, also, what's important, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, is that tonight at 12:01, The Division 2 comes out.
Okay.
Actually, server's already online. It's killing me that I invited you here because I would have just canceled the show.
See?
I would have just walked off and done it. You're keeping me honest. You know what I mean?
Servers online meaning you could just do like multiplayer?
Well, you can put the whole game's online. So that's the thing. It's like I had gotten my preload code, right? And I preloaded this weekend, and I kept checking in, like, is it working? Is it working? Can I
Okay.
use it? No. And it kept
Okay.
saying, come back. Now
All
it's
right.
up.
Okay.
So, of course, Division 2 out tonight, 12:01 for gold editions and ultimate editions. And right over there, Stone Chin from Ubisoft has brought. What did you bring me? What do you got in that box there, Stoney? Come on over here. Come on over, Stone. Over here. Come on, camera.
You're standing in front of the camera. Back of your head.
No, it's
back
fine.
of your head.
No. Just come around.
Come around.
Anthony, this is Stone. Stone, this is Anthony.
Hello, Stone.
Lieutenant Commander.
Oh.
Oh, so what is it?
It's a box.
I hate you, Stone. I hate you. So you brought. So is it?
It's a medium-sized box.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna go like this.
Using a pen, and it's
Kevin lost it. Yeah, sure. We'll see in a second. We'll talk to you
You
later.
don't have
Thank
a box
you.
cutter.
No, we do. Well, Kevin is a touchy subject because we shot Cooking with Greggy this weekend.
I'm very sensitive about
Kevin
it.
has a Leatherman he loves. Like Kevin's like our dad.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like Kevin's got everything we ever need to fix.
yeah.
And so sadly, he left his Leatherman downstairs when he cut up a bunch of boxes for us.
I understand.
Here we go. We have the Division Collector's Edition.
Dark Zone.
Dark Zone Edition. There it is, man. I'm very excited to open this. We're going to open it on Instagram.com/GameOverGreggy. Not yet verified. Do you have a verification? Can you get me verified on Instagram?
You're not verified on Instagram, but you're verified on
Twitter.
Twitter,
Right? Not fair, is it?
Yeah, not
fair.
fair.
No. So we're trying. We're
the
pushing
guy
for
that verified me left the company. So
right afterwards.
Yeah, he was like, I'm out.
I'm going to do this and then bail before they can fire
So
me.
I don't know what to tell you.
Damn. Thought you might have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have some connect. I can help you get house seats for Broadway shows.
Oh, no. Okay. That's great. I'm in for that. Do I have to buy these Harry Potter tickets or you got that covered?
I have no. I have
Damn it,
nothing.
Anthony. I don't know why
I'm not a San Franciscan.
Okay, that's fine. We're unboxing Division 2 Dark Zone Edition right after this on Instagram. New dates for you. Workers and Resources Soviet Republic is out on March 15th on Steam. Skybox Labs, co-developer of Halo Infinite, have revealed their next game, Stella, or maybe it's Stela, a cinematic platformer about a young woman witnessing the final days of a mysterious ancient world.
I like cinematic platformers.
This sounds like you then. Xbox One and PC in 2019.
Okay.
Maybe you wait till the PlayStation 4 version. You know
No,
what
I mean, I have an
You wanna
Xbox One as
Well, I
well.
know, but
I
you're
was-
not getting any trophies for it. You know,
That's true.
That's
you
a big
just
problem.
get gamer points or whatever.
And what does that mean? So stupid, right? 7 Enhanced Edition, an open world isometric stealth and action role playing game, is coming to PC and PS4 on March 26, 2019.
An open world isometric. What does that mean? Isometric stealth. What
It's
does that
about the
mean?
view. It's how you're coming up and doing your thing. Kevin,
Oh, so sort of like what's the Mike Bithell volume?
volume.
Is that
Similar.
isometric?
Yeah.
Because you're top down. Does that mean it's top down?
I'd have to look at volume again. Hold on.
Volume is like top down, and you're like, doot, doot. It's sort of like the early Metal Gear game challenge things.
Yeah, VR stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm hold on.
All right, where? What,
So
what
hold on.
game
Yeah.
is this? I wasn't listening.
Well, isometric graphic, I'm giving you the official definition. Isometric video game graphics are graphics employed in video games and pixel art where the viewpoint is angled to reveal facets of the environment that would not be visible from a top-down perspective or side view, thereby producing three-dimensional effect.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Why wouldn't it just be called normal? Like, I just don't know why they're using the word isometric. That's all.
It's the way you can spin the camera right there. Like, yeah, so you can see around corners but not see it. So I like how
Okay.
you're doing, your RT. That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
So I forget though, for volume, it was like the VR rooms in Metal Gear.
Yeah, it was just all stationary.
Yeah. Does that count? Because I couldn't spin the camera.
No, that's not. That's top down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't on top of it like original Metal Gear. Kindoffunny.com/you're-wrong. Explain the differences to us.
Please help us.
Is
that?
No, we were asking
happening?
about Andy. Are you coming in to solve the isometric debate? Is volume isometric?
I know like Q-Bird is isometric.
Oh.
It's
like-
because if you can see around the art, right?
It's like a sort of 3/4 top-down view-ish, but it's like there's no perspective.
Yeah.
Like things don't get smaller as they're further
Right.
away in the world. It's
So
all
you're
kind
locked to the view.
Yeah.
So then volume is isometric because the camera didn't move with
didn't
me.
move.
like
Yeah,
Kirby's Dream Course or something like that. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Okay.
Thank
But then,
you.
hold on.
Thank
So then
you.
the Metal Gear VR rooms don't count because the Metal Gear camera moved with me as I moved, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's what I'm assuming.
Andy used to make games before we stole them.
Thank you.
Hey Anthony, great to meet you, man.
Thank
Big
you.
fan.
Nice to meet you.
Cool
Thank
show.
you.
All right,
Thank
get
you.
out of here.
Thank
All
you.
right.
What's up with this Dark Zone?
Get
thing,
out of
man?
here. We're opening it, doggy dog. The Hunt Showdown is coming to Xbox Game Preview in the spring 2019. And then
First-person bounty hunting game. Oh,
Hunt Showdown is a competitive first-person bounty hunting game that combines
no.
the thrill of first-person shooters and survival games and packs those
makes
elements
me
into
wanna-
match-based format. No, not doing it for you?
want to be sad.
No?
I'd be sad. I'd be like rocking in the corner, sad.
You don't want to hunt anybody?
No.
You just want to go out there and live?
I want to help people.
So do you when people ask you like what are your favorite game genres, you're talking about third-person action adventure games?
yeah,
Story-
yeah, but
story
I,
narrative
like
dreams?
there's some first-person games that I've really enjoyed too. But
Yeah.
yeah, but third-person would be probably the most. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anthony, it's time for reader mail. But first I'm going to tell you about our sponsor. Be like Andy and Nick. Don't let the problem take you over. Take over the problem.
I understand.
That's my new
That's a
slogan.
life that's like you could apply that to any aspect of your life.
Exactly, yeah. What are you going to do? You gonna let the problem run you? No, you run the problem.
You run the problem.
You run the answer, I guess. You don't want to be another problem.
You could be a problem. For
Well,
some
sure,
people.
I'm sure.
I want to be a problem with a certain person in a certain building in Washington, D.C. I would like to be a problem for that person.
You can do that in Division.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I don't think the person you're probably talking about, like Washington's come and gone by that point. But yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. I have many questions for you, Anthony. Ben Silverman wrote in to patreon.com/kindafunnygames and says, Anthony, huge fan of your character development so far from the first season of season 1 of Star Trek
Thank you, Ben.
Discovery. Star Trek seems like the perfect basis for almost every video game genre, yet it's been over a decade since the last great Star Trek game. What is your opinion, if any, on Star Trek games? And do you have thoughts on what a future game in the universe might look like, or who you'd like to see develop it?
I haven't played any Star Trek games, I'm sorry to say.
It is also worth pointing out, Ben, even though you say it's been a decade since the last great Star Trek game, I know people love Star Trek Online.
Yeah, people really do enjoy it.
Bridge Crew. We did Bridge Crew.
Yeah,
We
people
did
like
a party
Bridge
mode
Crew,
for
right?
Bridge Crew.
So yeah, I have Star Trek Online downloaded to my PS4, but I'm just afraid to jump in because I've never played an MMORPG thing, and
Sure.
I'm a little afraid of it.
They're great though if you find the right thing.
Yeah. So I know that they're dense and that you got to like learn the curve situation, but so I'm like reluctant, but I want to try it. I just think Mass Effect 2 and 3 are such incredible games, and I think they share a spirit with Star Trek in
100%.
many ways.
Yeah.
So something along those lines. If there could be a developer that could do a Star Trek universe game that had that kind of depth and heart and character interaction and honoring all, like you could do so many things to honor the huge history and legacy of Star Trek. It seems to me like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like why can't you do that? So that's what I would love to see.
I was talking to you at the event for the launch of season 2, right, of Discovery, and it was that idea that, man, the show's got me so hyped for what you guys are doing. And I've said it before, like I came into that like, oh, I know a little bit of Star Trek. I've seen the movies. Watching the show was the first time I ever, like, I was talking to Nick, who's a lifelong Trekkie, and he was just like, no, this is what I'm talking about. This is what it is, right? Where it was science fiction. There's action in it, but it is more about those character moments and evolving storylines and what the crew is doing for the betterment of the galaxy. And that was the thing for me of like, man, I should really get back to Andromeda. I stopped playing Andromeda, when it was all buggy in the beginning and it just didn't click. And then I've heard so much good things about it since. I just never got to it.
Yeah, I didn't jump in because I love those. I have it, but it was like I was reluctant again because I heard that it was problematic.
Well,
but
it's like
I
such a big
want to
deal.
do it.
Right, it's such a big deal sinking, what is it going to be, 30, 40 hours into a game, and if it's not great, like there's so many other great games you could be sinking your time into.
But I will.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my answer. I challenge anyone to come up with a game like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, so what, you want to see BioWare, you want to see Naughty Dog, you want to see something like that?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
But Naughty Dog, they don't do licensing, right?
I mean, they don't do it yet. All right. You go down there, you talk to Neil Druckmann. Cancel all this Last of Us stuff. You're making this now. Lo Keenan wrote in to patreon.com/kindafunnygames. It says, hi, Anthony. With your background in musical theater, I was wondering what musical, if any, would you like to see made into a video game?
That's so funny. I suppose I don't really love Wicked, but I think it probably would be a good game, like the World of Oz.
Sure. Oh yeah.
And I'm all for any game also that has like female protagonists and talking about those kinds of things. So maybe that could be something.
Okay. You see what is that going to be, third person story based?
Yeah. Again, that's anything that I suggest would be that.
That's all I know, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that there's potential in there, and also all the issues of it's like what The Witcher did well of this world that has so much prejudice in it and terrible political stuff going on. Like that felt really real. Like you can have a game world that makes that come to life. So you could have an Oz that's kind of like complicated and interesting. Yeah, you could do that.
Okay. For people who don't know, what is your musical theater background?
I mean, my first show that I ever did when I was 6 years old was The Wizard of Oz.
No wonder you hate Wicked. You're like, look at this guy riding my coattails.
So I played the Cowardly Lion. But I didn't, and then I did some other musicals. I did The King and I with Yul Brynner for a year when I was 10. But then I didn't do many musicals until Rent.
Oh wow, really? Okay.
So that was the next. So I was doing like plays and some movies and stuff, and I don't know that many people knew that I could sing even.
Yeah,
and
I didn't.
And then I did Rent, and then then I did a Charlie Brown, If Then, which actually came through San Francisco.
I missed. I'm sorry.
A few years ago.
They didn't tell me about the pre-sale. Cool Greg wasn't a big fan, so I wasn't paying attention. No, I know.
Yeah, but and I do concerts. I'm actually coming back to San Francisco to do concerts in April.
Can I come?
Sure.
All right, cool. Do I have to get in the virtual ticket line or whatever?
That's something I could probably help you out with.
Okay, good. Shane writes in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, Greg and Anthony, my two loves in life are theater and gaming. In fact, I am writing my doctoral thesis on how they correlate. Anthony,
Sounds like a wise person.
it sounds like it. We'll see how the question goes, though. You know what I mean? Anthony, I'm a big fan, and I got to see you on at Broadway Con last year. What is your favorite musical moment in gaming? He has two in here. I don't want to say them because I don't want to put them in your head.
Yeah, Journey. So the opening, just even the opening cello line of when the credits come on in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then especially the sort of, I guess it's sort of like when you're sliding down that long
and
sequence.
it pans out. Yeah, and really gets you, hits you right in the feels. Yeah.
And I've gotten to know Austin Wintory.
Sure.
He actually scored this independent film I did years ago. And he's just a really cool guy. And he's so passionate about what he does. And he's a big Star Trek fan himself. He was trying to, he was hoping that maybe he could get hired, but if, he didn't get the job, but he played me some music that he was writing, some ideas. He's just brilliant and really cool. And so yeah, Journey is like, it's a whole other level. Like that game in and of itself is a beautiful situation.
Masterclass in gaming, right? Yeah. For me, and I thought you might beat me to it. Scientist Solarian. Morden from Mass Effect 2, when he sits there and sings, right?
That's a whole other thing, yes.
Well, I know, but for when I think musical theater, right?
Yes.
He's out there and he's singing, he's dancing. We got good camera, and it was out of the blue. It was unexpected.
Morden in Mass Effect 3.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. All right, that's your story, not mine. I don't need to worry about it. I don't want to cry. Shane brought in. Mine are two Grant Kirkhope moments: the Mighty Pooh from Conker and the Phantom Rabbit, and Mario.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I don't know anything.
The Mighty
about
Pooh
these.
from Conker, which I do not know, and the Phantom Rabbit from Mario and Rabbids.
I don't know.
No, what's the Mighty Pooh? Kevin, get on your mic and tell me.
It's like the big bad guy. He's like a giant poo and he sings.
Oh,
okay.
Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Conker's Bad Fur Day is what I was holding out for with my N64. Yeah. And then the third time WWF No Mercy ate my save, I was like, screw this, I'm buying a PlayStation. And I traded it all in. Never looked back. Andrew writes in. Oh, hold on. There was a pause there, right? Because I saw Andrew's last name. I'm like, I have no idea how to say that. But he spells it out in his actual letter. Andrew Yenny writes in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, Hi, Greg and Anthony. Welcome to Kind of Funny. As an actor myself, I love playing through games with rich characters and stories. And games like The Last of Us, Hellblade, and Uncharted have shown us that there is a ton of benefit to having motion capture assist in telling these stories.
Yes.
My question is, would you be interested in performing in a video game, if you haven't already? And how do you see the relationship between actors and game development growing in the future?
Yes, I would. Anybody, please hire me.
If any developers are listening, Anthony Rapp is available. I will give you his email address. DM me.
Are you kidding me? I mean, I think it would be really intense and hard, but also really rewarding. Merle Dandridge is a friend of mine. We did Rent together years ago. She played Joanne. She's very famous for being Alex in Half-Life, and then also in Last of Us, she's the head of the Fireflies.
Thank you. I was like, I know that name, and I should be able to picture.
And the other, the British game.
Thomas Was Alone.
No.
Volume.
No. The end of the Rapture.
Everybody's gone to the Rapture. Everybody's gone to the Rapture.
She's an amazing actress. She doesn't play games. She doesn't play games. She doesn't play these games.
Stop hiring her. Force her out of the industry.
I'm really
Put
happy
Anthony
for
Rapp in
her.
those roles.
She has a great time working on Last of Us. I've gotten to know Troy Baker too.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So we're like, I know. So I'm like, Troy, help me out. Help a brother out.
Yeah.
I want to be in the games.
He's like, haha, sure. And then he flips his scarf and walks out. Like, damn it. Almost had him. Couldn't get him.
No, I would love to. Look, but it would be that kind of because part of the thing is when it's the really good writing, you get so much time to develop the character.
Yeah, people do it for like 2 years, right? Dropping in and out of these characters.
Yeah, so that seems really, really rewarding. And I would imagine that, I don't know for sure, but artists like Neil Druckmann and the people working on the Naughty Dog games where they also then really collaborate and build the character
100%,
with the actors.
100%.
So that's the kind of thing it seems really special.
That's why Naughty Dog's on another level. It's because they do that, and they do have those moments where they sit there and talk to each other about what they're doing, let alone they push each other. You know what I mean? You listen to Troy and the stories that from Last of Us, alone, right? That him and Neil and the conversation they had and the real moments they'd have of Troy being angry of, why are you making me do this to Neil? And Neil, you're not doing the performance the way you need to do it.
Yeah.
And them trusting each other and believing each other and going that way.
That's really cool.
Is that similar? I mean, definitely different levels of coming off of being mad and being pushed. Is that similar to what's happening with you in Discovery, where you're getting to feel this character out? Like, I forget, a couple questions back, they were talking about your character arc so far, and that was my big thing, right? Of you were such a dick in the beginning of season 1, and then they flipped you, and they kept you flipped, and it's been great.
I mean, I like playing weird people. I like playing dark stuff. I was excited to get to be somebody who's kind of flinty and obnoxious, but because I also felt like they grounded it. You understood why he was that way. So it's not just like they're not just doing a thing with it. He's reacting this way in part because of all the things that are happening that are really upsetting. So I'm happy for it, and I also feel like it does all track and relate. So yeah, I'm now with TV. You know, TV in the old days used to be, and it still is this way, kind of like with procedurals.
Sure,
you're your character, and you never really change. You're familiar, and there's no growth. But
so
now
you can drop in and out for any episode. And feel like
now, with long form storytelling, now it's all about how characters grow and change. And that's what makes it so appealing, I think.
Do you think that's part of, like, it's on CBS All Access, is that part of the idea of being able to like binge watch it?
Yeah, and it's the idea that serial television binging is because you want to follow a story through to the end, and because you want to see characters grow and change. So yeah, the great golden era of television, Breaking Bad. You know, these shows where Breaking Bad is all about characters who change. Like, you start here and you go here.
Yeah.
You know, that's just a great example. So, you know, I'm not saying we're on the level of Breaking Bad in terms of that, but because that's, you know, one of the greatest things that ever happened. But that is one way that we're different, I think, from other Star Treks too, is that our characters are not the same from episode 1 to the end. They did a little bit of that with like Picard, you know, with the Borg stuff, but it didn't really, like, that wasn't the goal in the earlier days. It was more like you spend time with the people you know and love, and they're always kind of the same. You can rely on them. And now we're like, maybe we're not going to be the same person at the end.
A way to engage you, right? And or engage me, the viewer, to keep me actually watching. EJ writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, Devil May Cry 5 got a patch on the PlayStation 4 in the West that covers up Trish's butt with a lens flare. This censorship is in the US only. Thank you, Kev. It's not like Trish is an underage girl. How can a butt crack be censored? But a game like Mortal Kombat 11 is more violent than ever. Mortal Kombat is comedy, so is DMC. Why as a culture, Anthony Rapp, and you're an artist, you know what I mean? You guys, I'm sure, drink wine with your berets and you talk about art all the time. Exactly. Yeah. Why do you find that, like, the West is so hung up on violence? Girls' butt. And to give you context for the thing, and this is, I guess, minor spoilers for Devil May Cry, not really, because I don't know what the hell's going on, but she falls out of like a monster. She's naked. We don't see any of the naughty bits, but, you know, he grabs her, puts her on a motorcycle, goes, then he takes her off of it, and like as he spins, you see a naked tush. It's not like egregious.
I mean, that seems strange to blot out a naked tush.
Yeah.
I will say it has to be said that there's been far too much misogyny in the design of women in games in general, and too much, like, I mean, that's the one thing about The Witcher 3. I mean, come on. The women, they're all like, come on, I'm sorry. They're all like totally sexualized.
You're telling me come on. Trish's breasts shouldn't be as exposed as they are?
I'm not saying whether they should or shouldn't, but just like it's all about, like, they're just so sex pot.
Sure.
For a game that has so much intelligence to it, it's just like, why are you making them so sex pot?
Did you think Mass Effect did it right with romancing?
Yeah. I mean, it still is always a little silly, frankly, when you're seeing animated naked people going like they can't really get a kiss animated
well, that's why
well.
I think Mass Effect always hides it with angles, right? Where it is like when I'm watching the girl in the shower and then I get in the shower, it's just like our legs.
Yeah, and the Dragon Age, Dragon Age did that too. It's always a little silly.
Sure.
So, but what those games get right is the character connection.
Sure,
and you can believe why these characters are developing into a romance. You know, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, it's like there's been a lot. It's been too much the other way. So I think we have to balance it out. You know, so not make I guess. What's her butt? Tomb Raider, Lara Croft. She's still she's like grittier, but she still has kind of.
She's empowered though, right?
Yeah, she's empowered.
I mean, I don't know if I'm not the final judge, jury, and executioner on it, but I mean, she's definitely a step beyond that, and I feel like Crystal's done a great job of making a well-rounded one. However, she still is in skin tight tank tops and pants.
It still is that a little. So it's like can we do a little better with that?
Guys, it's normal jungle apparel. That's all I'm saying.
But what about when she's in the snow?
Yeah, dude, the same thing.
No, I'm kidding. She wears a big coat then too. You're wrong, Anthony Rapp. Get out of here. All right, video games are better. Yeah, exactly. It was a weird thing. I don't know why it's only PlayStation 4 US. The Xbox Western version doesn't have that.
But also Japanese. I don't know if you're aware of this. You probably are. That there's Japanese porn, anime porn, but they also
really?
animate it, but then they still blot out
the bits.
The bits.
Yeah.
Which seems like a strange.
Super
all of
annoying.
that is very strange.
It's just a cultural thing, I think. And as for it being with PlayStation, I think PlayStation's super gun shy because they've been not thrown attacked for this stuff before, but like they've had these opportunities thrown their way and gone the opposite and had things. And then everything that's going on with Steam, everything's going on with everybody's being a little, I think, gun shy on certain things, and PlayStation in particular, as they are number one, they are in the most households. They're trying to do it.
But I mean, I understand. Like as I said, I think if there has to be a correction for a while because things were so out of whack.
Sure.
Maybe you overcorrect, but better that than going farther in the other way. You know?
Yeah, there's been no statement as of press time in terms of what was going on with that, why it's only one version of the US game, but hopefully we'll get that eventually and have some kind of thing of like, well, PlayStation wanted this because they put too many anime titties and other things. Because they're all over the place in these visual novels, all right?
Yes.
Criminal girls, what are you talking about? It's time to squad up. This is where one of you writes in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. You give me your name, username, platform of choice, and why you need help in a video game. I read it here. The best friends come and find you, and everybody has a good time
Anybody
playing
need help
together.
with Chalice Dungeons? Chalice Dungeons?
Today's squad up is Anthony Rapp. He wants to help you in Chalice Dungeons. Explain.
Chalice Dungeons and Bloodborne.
I know, but I'm just giving you
help. Hell yeah. I've got a couple characters who have different like skills and abilities in Bloodborne, and around the 120 level mark, and you go in and you do Chalice Dungeons.
So you're willing to help other people?
Absolutely.
Because you already have your platinum.
I have my
You can move on.
But like recently, I don't know why I just like got back into it again because it was calling to me.
Okay.
And it was so pleasurable again.
What's your
such a
PSN
great
name?
game. Albino Kid 1026, which is my birthday.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I know one of your security questions.
Sure.
You just effed up, sir.
Sure.
What's your mother's maiden name?
Sure.
All right. Well, then, if you want to play Bloodborne with Anthony, hit up Albino Kid 1026.
Yeah.
Also, the release of the PlayStation 2 in America, so it's a good birthday.
It is?
Yeah.
Wow.
The next year, that would have been what? That would have been, I bought it and then I went to college, right? So that would have been 01. Or I'm sorry, that was 2000, 1026, 2000.
Wow.
Then the next year is when Mizzou won some game and we rushed the field.
Yeah.
And then the next year something else happened on 1026. It wasn't nearly as big as those other two though.
Yeah.
And now you got born. So I mean, that's a historic date.
See?
There you go. I put in, there's a required reading for you. This is over at gamesindustry.biz. Go read Brendan Sinclair's article. It's an interview with Amy Hennig, of course, friend of the show, and it's titled, quote, "Things are clearly not working the way they used to." It's a really good report from Amy talking about AAA development, unionization, how this is all going to net out, where it's going to go in terms of how to make a single-player game, a AAA single-player game.
Are any studios unionized?
There's a lot of talk about it right now because of everything happening with people getting laid off here and there and stuff like that. And you're seeing a lot of, in our space right now, like games press, enthusiast media, you're starting to see more of those unions pop up.
Oh.
And so then there's a talk from a whole bunch of different people that maybe game developers should. And so we'll see if it ever can happen. But Amy talks about it, which is interesting, right?
And what is the latest? Do you know the latest on the SAG-AFTRA situation? Actors, like some studios.
Yeah, that's good now. Yeah, that's all done.
There was a while where there were some that were on strike. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's over now, though.
Okay.
All's well that ends well.
Yeah.
And then I had one rotating segment from Rami, but it's a longer discussion that I'm going to bring up tomorrow. But I like it, Rami, and we're going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for You're Wrong. Remember, we broadcast live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, where you can watch for free. And also, if you're watching live, sorry, itchy eyebrow, go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw up, so we can set the record straight.
I don't
for
think
everybody
we have
watching
very many things. Come on.
later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames.
We didn't have very many things, Greg Miller.
I wish that was true. All right, there's a lot here, but a lot of them are duplicates. Nanobiologist keeping me honest. This is actually episode 403, not 405.
Oh, see. Important.
Come on, why are you wasting my time? Why? You know what I mean? To get out of here. I don't want this. I don't want this.
Are you editing?
Yeah, well, so many people. It's a lot of editorializing. I want it to be like I asked the isometric thing about volume, right? But people come in here and are like, the mock-up Google controllers from Pat. Yeah, hold on. Okay. Well, no, I already said you shouldn't. Well, anyways, the nanobiologist and Fendi both write in to say Jason Schreier's talking about the Google controller and saying they're from patents filed in 2014. Jason Schreier says patents are misleading and rarely reflect reality. Very true. Again, this was just something I tossed out. I called out that the mock-up we saw wasn't real, but it was some, hey, we're getting closer. Here comes the controller.
All right. They've gotten a lot of flack though. they've gotten a lot of negative feedback.
Oh yeah, no, that was the thing. Like I was talking to somebody.
looking.
I was talking to somebody and they were like, they thought that was an official product shot. I was like, that's not
Yeah.
And they were like, well, why didn't Google get out in front? I'm like, because it's very hard. Once the genie's out of the bottle,
Yeah.
once something's said online, everybody believes it. Speaking of something said online that's then true, the nanobiologist says, is Stone Chin's name Stone because he's chiseled like a god? Yes.
No, he's rubbing his belly saying
No, Anthony. Let him live. Let the online rip.
No.
Kebab says there's a directed video Doom at. No, you know why would I? That's not. You're wrong. And then here we go. Here we get into stuff now. So Kebab says isometric would be 2D games like classic 2D Pokemon games, Metal Gear 1 and 2, and the first 2 Age of Empires. If the game's 3D like Age of Mythology or Metal Gear Solid, it would be better described as a God view video. No, that God view is definitely not something we're calling. Right, and the question was that we were confused on is volume isometric, which in the camera doesn't move. We decided, so
Right.
it's isometric and it works. This is how it goes. Then we sit here and we argue with everybody, right? Lord of Pone says, and I trust Lord of Pone, isometric is a type of axiometric projection that is used to catch all in games. There's a lot of intricacies that no one has time to get into, but the short answer is the camera can move in isometric games. Diablo is an example. I don't know anything anymore.
Okay.
People are explaining where the Great Pooh lives. I don't care. Why would you do this?
The Great Pooh?
Yeah, from Great Mighty Pooh from Conker's Bad Fur Day. He came up earlier.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Interesting.
Right? There's always something fascinating, interesting in your room.
Sure. Hello. Hello, world.
Yeah. All right, so here. No, I don't know, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Thank you so much for watching. Anthony, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you, Greg Miller.
You're great.
for
Don't be a
having me.
stranger. Come by more.
I'll come by again. How
I want
about
you to do
that?
the Gamescast. Come back and do the
Let's
Gamescast.
do Gamescast.
Okay. Well,
Sure.
Don't be weird about it. All right. If you end on a weird, no, you're getting weird on me. God damn it, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Watch as we record it live on Twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Watch it later on YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames or RoosterTeeth.com, and of course, listen on podcast services around the globe. Star Trek Discovery rolls on. Thursdays, CBS All Access.
This is true.
All right.
And this has been kind of funny.
Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, so that's all we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Meet the bare minimums. Remember, we're going to unbox this division over on Instagram.com/GameOverGreggy. Remember, tweet at Instagram, verify at GameOverGreggy. What's your problem? Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.